So in this tutorial, I'm going to walk you through step by step on how to submit your press release to prweb.com to gain the best exposure. Now, submitting your site to prweb.com, there's a lot of great results that come out from this. And this is because if you submit it correctly to prweb.com, they actually have an inclusion into Yahoo and Google News, as well as into thousands of RSS feeds that input into different categories that you choose and different locations that you choose as well. And we'll talk about that more as we get into it. And of course, another good thing about prweb.com is that it allows you to track your results. So you can see your statistics, how many hits you have, how many headlines and full page views press release received. So let's get started. Now, of course, the first thing that you need is your press release in some format, such as a text format, or to be convenient, a dot format, Microsoft document format. So you'll need to have that on hand before you get started, assuming that you've already had your press release written and edited for submission purposes. And of course, there's other things that you will need, such as keywords that you want to include, things like categories that you would like to be included into for prweb.com, and locations, and I'll show you that as we go through. First, I'd recommend that you go to google.com. You can either go to prweb.com, but it's just simpler just to go to Google and type in prweb and then go to prweb.com. So now that we are at prweb.com, you'll notice that on the front page you can see recent headlines. And this is the first page of prweb.com. Anytime that you are located on the front page of prweb.com, you actually get better results by doing so. And a lot of times you will only stay on the front page for 20 so minutes. But however, during those minutes you will get good results from that. Now, there are several ways of submitting your press release. You can either create an account by going to register free here, or you can go to the submit release link here at the top right. If you go here, if you scroll down to the bottom, you'll notice that PRWeb Direct, which is a different thing that PRWeb provides. Now, the difference between this and the others is that PRWeb Direct offers same-day distribution. It allows you to get into business wire distributions or more distribution sites. So it's sort of like an extra added bonus. You'll get into more areas. However, PRWeb Direct does cost a little bit more than just the regular submissions. And if you want to get a lot of exposure, then this is actually a great way to go. If you click on here to start, then it'll actually tell you what you get. A good thing about this is when you do submit it, usually the editors of PRWeb Direct do give you a call immediately. Through my experience, it's given phone calls within just a few minutes. You know, one time I submitted a press release at 1 a.m. in the morning, and I got a call at 1:30 a.m. in the morning, which was nice. And this is same-day distribution type thing. Cost a little bit more, but very well worth it. And as you can see, they also distribute to a lot of other places here. Now, that is not required to get your press release into Yahoo News and into Google. You can actually do other things. So, but if you do decide to do PRWeb Direct, simply click Order Now. There's several distribution options. You can choose the $169 one, which distributes to PRWeb and eMedia distribution. I think the main thing about this is that you get same-day distribution, and that is probably why it costs a little more, and it distributes to a little bit more submission sites. You get a guaranteed page one placement on prweb.com. However, I'll show you how you can get guaranteed page ones and other submission options as well. So you could either do this, or you can go ahead and go to prweb.com. Just go back to prweb.com. Go ahead and create an account by clicking this register free link here. Once you've done that, simply fill out the information, click complete the registration, and PRWeb will give you a username and password, which actually you choose. So once you're done with that, we'll go ahead and log in to prweb.com. So once we've done that, we click on the login button here. So as we are here, you can view all of your previous press releases, or you can submit a new release by clicking this link here. So we'll go ahead and click this, submit release. Now there are several options that prweb.com allows you to submit. There's different packages. So what you saw earlier was mainly for the same day distribution. Costs a little more for that, and the editors will usually handle it quicker and faster. And the best day to actually submit your release, this is a tip here. Submit it on a Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. Do not submit it on a Monday or Friday, because if this is the case that you are trying to submit it and have editors look at it, what you want to do is you want to submit it on a Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. I found that usually submitting it on Wednesday or Thursday, I get better results on that note. If we're to do this, we're going to choose an online visibility package here. What you can do, you have standard visibility. It gets your news placed online by distributing your press release directly to the consumer's media through Yahoo News, Google, and such like that. So even the standard visibility, $80, allows you to submit it to Yahoo News and Google News. Yes, it is $80. However, being included into Yahoo News and Google News will get your site ranked higher than ever. You'll actually bypass a lot of your competition just by paying that $80. If you want the good results, then that's definitely the way to go. If you want to know what standard visibility is, you can simply click on this More Info button here, and it'll actually tell you what they do and what is included in this package right here. So as you can see, Yahoo News inclusion is included, Google News, e-media wire distribution, which is very good too. And the one thing to note is that your press release does need to have good content, need to have something that is newsworthy. So it can't be just any type of press release. It needs to be written in a good, interesting fashion. At the same time, I would recommend that you would pass it through a press release writer as well, if in the case that you're uncertain about that, because prweb.com does rate your press releases. If it receives an editorial score of 4 or greater, provided in that case, you will get included in Yahoo News and Google News as well. In the most cases, you do get an editorial 4 usually or greater. So in that case, you can do that, and it gets included in RSS feeds, which is nice because a lot of people in your different industries and categories, they will actually use prweb.com to grab RSS feeds. So within a few days, you'll actually begin to show up on hundreds and hundreds of websites. And that's great because Google will index that and Yahoo will as well, and you will get backlinks. So if you scroll down here, you will actually see what you get. In this sense, you get a PRWeb page 2 inclusion. You don't get on number 1 page. You get on the page 2, which isn't too bad either. But the fact that you get into Yahoo News and Google News, that's a huge plus there as well. Now, as far as help support goes and customer support goes, for this one specifically, you get an electronic help desk access for technical assistance as well. The second thing is the social media visibility, which you can see here. Click on More Info just to get a better view of what it includes. So that will include everything in this package, and this will include everything here, here, and so forth. Now the good thing about this one, it's not $169 as we saw earlier. However, this one includes a page inclusion on prweb.com on the front page. So that's nice right there. You have quotes that you can include if you like. You have trackbacks. You have the same Yahoo News, Google News, e-media wire distribution inclusion, and you get a lot more here as well. And you get social bookmarking. So it really is up to you what you choose. If you want to go with the SEO visibility, you can. This is also good because you can actually tag your URL keywords. So in these other two, you can actually include links like www.yourdomain.com. Now in the SEO visibility now, you can include, let's say that you have a keyword, video marketing, and you have in the press release something about video marketing in there. If you want to anchor it, you can do it using this package here. So it sort of increases that, and it helps your keywords in that sense too. You also can submit up to 10 industry targets, meaning if you go to prweb.com on the main page, you can see industry targets, and the more targets you get, that just means the more pages on prweb.com that you are located on. So the more the better, of course. And you get 5 MSAs, which means locations, or 5 more pages. So as you can see here, you have a lot of stuff you can do to increase the results for that particular press release. And of course we have the media visibility, which is one of their best packages. You can make front page headlines. This level contains all features and tools from the other packages, all of here, plus distribution through AP, which is big. It's huge. So you could get on to the front page headlines of many sites, many pages. You get more pages. So if you click more info here, you can get included into the Associated Press, which is huge. This is big time huge, and that will actually being located, just on that specifically will get you a ton and tons of backlinks. And of course you get all what you get for these packages here. You can use anchor links to your keywords and so much more. So once you're ready to choose your package, which in this case I'll just leave it at this, we scroll down here. If you don't want to submit it, meaning if you want somebody else to submit it like an editor, you can do that too, but I would recommend that you just submit it so that you don't have to pay the extra $100. So if we click continue here, we're forwarded to this page, and basically these are distribution enhancements. They are not needed unless you really need them, because they just add on to your costs. However, they're mainly editorial services. You can do podcasts if you want. You can do editorial services if you want to get it revised by a press release writer, or if you get your press release written or have somebody else edit it, you can get it for way cheaper than this. So I would not even go with this, just because it adds on to your costs. So we've got your order summary here, and you can choose to pay with PayPal or Visa, MasterCard, things like that. Once you're done, click continue. Now once you have paid all your money to submit your press release, then the next thing to do is tell PureWeb basically things like where you want industries located, what industry categories you want, news by MSA or location, where do you want it to be submitted or located by area, metropolitan area. That's what MSA means. So if you do that, you can upload your press release. So I'm just going to give you a quick run through of what categories you will want to choose. In this case, industry categories. If we go here, you'll notice that there are hundreds and hundreds of categories. So you can find the categories that you want, and depending on the package that you choose, some will allow you to choose 5 or 10 different industries. So the more industries you are on those pages, the better, because it actually feeds into RSS feeds as well. So you want to make sure that you choose your industries wisely. So let's say that our product has to do with videos. So in this sense, I will do something like, or business videos. So we can do business. We can include it in the small business. We can include it in marketing, business marketing. We can do it in e-commerce, entrepreneurs, And the reason why you want to choose them wisely is because they will show up on websites that are feeding using RSS feeds. So let's say that there's a video marketing site out there who is using prweb.com RSS feeds. By doing so, your press release link is going to show up on their website, therefore giving you a backlink to your site. So you want to get as targeted as possible, if you can, for these right here. Now the second thing you want to do is MSA, news by MSA or metropolitan area. Basically, you want to choose a city that you want to be located in. Usually what I do is I choose my own city, and I choose cities that I know that target market is big in. And here's a secret. Actually, if you find cities where you know that your topic is popular in, you do that, and you find cities that are smaller. Usually what happens is your press release will show or stay on that page for a long time. If it's a big city like Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia, then your press release might stay on that front page for, a few hours or a day. Now if you go up on a smaller city, not too small of course, but a smaller city that is in that market, then sometimes, you never know, your press release will stay on that page for several days or even up to a week or even half a month. So that's just the key there, just to get a lot of backlinks to your website. So once you've submitted your press release to prweb.com, they have really easy understanding instructions for you to grasp. So it's very easy to understand as far as submission goes. If you have problems submitting your press release, go to their support. They are probably the fastest customer support I've seen, at least when I submitted my press release, and they're very friendly. They're there to help you, so go ahead and contact them if you have any problems doing so. Now once you've submitted your press release, you can view your statistics. So let's go ahead and view that statistics here so that you can get a good idea of what you're getting into before you get into it. So in this specific account here, I have a press release that was submitted, and you can view it by scrolling over, and you can just put your mouse over and you can compare full page reads, headline impressions, get it even more detailed by week, by day, by category. And let's go ahead and view the full page reads here. Of course, you gotta select your press release first. So actually we'll click on that and we'll put our mouse over the release visibility link, and we will go to the summary link. That way we can get an overview of that specific press release. So if we scroll down here, we'll notice that prweb.com actually gives you some detailed statistics, which is quite nice. So you can see how many people actually had a full page read of your website, how many RSS feeds, how many times your headline was displayed through an RSS feed, which was 23,000 times, how many times has your headline displayed on PRWeb site, or the impressions, how many people have come to that or visited it. So it's fairly detailed. You got your headlines, impressions per week. As you can see, it increases per week. Full page reads by week, so it shows every single week it's increasing, which is nice. In this particular one, I chose the... So as you can see here, prweb.com actually provides a lot of statistics that you can use for your own tracking purposes. So now you know how to use prweb.com, and in the future videos we're going to show you how to submit your press release to other sites which are actually free. prweb.com actually boosts you up, gives you that momentum that you need to get in Yahoo News, Google News, so that you can beat your competition quicker and get better results.